Spooky, spooky Sunday. How are we doing, everybody? We're back with your man, Sammy the Man McIntyre, with Moving the Chains podcast. I hope we're doing well today. Loaded college football games this weekend. We got NFL going on right now. I'm recording this right now while everything's going on. I was a little late to the party today. I usually do it a little bit earlier, but life throws shit at you. I was watching the Cowboy documentary. Jesus Christ, my head was spinning. Almost as close to that level of The Last Dance. Fantastic stuff. I mean, ego is a big thing in a guy's world. Jesus Christ. You want to talk about ego with Jimmy and Jerry. Oh, boy. Whew. Okay, so I got done with that. I finished that. It took about 3 days. So I want to start with this. So I got a lot of things to talk about today. Notre Dame beating NC State. I'll get to that game. We had USC beating the shit out of Michigan last night. I feel bad for every Michigan fan I know. That was ugly. My takes on that. And then I got Alabama, Missouri I want to touch on first, and then Oregon losing at home to Indiana. So let me start with the Alabama-Missouri game. I was at work. I got home, watched a little bit of that. I was channel flipping back and forth between the channels. It was like the Monday Night Wars back in the WWE. I was watching one game, watching another. It's like a pinball machine. But I will say this with Alabama, Missouri. Alabama, about a month ago, we all thought they were dead, right? I said it. Media said it. But I can't doubt a team sometimes. And when I watch Alabama now, they're becoming the Alabama old. They're kicking. I mean, they beat up Missouri yesterday. And I think Missouri, they're a good program. I mean, I'm looking at, I'll get to the Missouri program in a second. They've done a really nice job. Last couple of years, they've won 11, 10 games. The program kind of started off rocky with Eli Dinkwitz. He's done a fantastic job. That's a very underrated state for talent, I've always said. You know, Ezekiel Elliott went there from Missouri. Jamison Williams, Luther Burden. They put a lot of guys in the league. It's underrated. Still feel like they should be in the Big 12. They're right below Oklahoma, Texas, but they can get players. And they're finally back to having some good teams back in like 2007, those kind of times. But I will start with Alabama. They look dominant, man. Ty Simpson's looking fantastic after that first game. I'm like, ugh, I don't know if this works. But he fits, man. He waited his turn, waited his time. That's what I like about the kid. He's not like any of these kids now where, oh, my God, I'm not playing. Let me transfer. Oh, my God. No, he stayed. He wasn't, Mama didn't raise no bitch down in Alabama. Woo! War Eagle pussy. Just playing. But he played well yesterday. He made some great throws. He's tough as hell. He's smart, getting in and out. He's played in a lot of loud environments. The SEC's known for that. You got the Swamp down there. You got Georgia. You got Bama. Even in your own stadium, you have A&M getting loud and everybody else. He's played big boy football. And I give him credit for that. They got to get more Ryan Williams involved. I mean, is he playing with his teddy bear? Is he doing the nail tech nails? I don't know what he's doing, but he's not focused. I don't know, because they're going to give him the ball yesterday. And the other thing I was really impressed with, and I know everybody's going to make a stink about this, was the coach on the sidelines berating the guy. Thank you. We need to go back to that in society. Where did we stop become like this like soft, oh, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. You missed the... No. Get on the guys. Get after their ass. I mean, I'm watching the Cowboy doc. Jimmy Johnson's saying to a guy, get ass, but get the fuck off my field. Like, I appreciate that. And we need to go back to that in society where we can be hard on people. Let's stop soft pedaling. So I was appreciative of that. That's where Alabama, that's why in Saban's dynasty, in their run, they kicked the shit out of people. They were more physically, mentally tough. What's it going to take to break you is always Nick Saban's thing. And yesterday with that team, I thought they were going to break early on. Missouri had that momentum. They got the strip sack. I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. It's kind of flipping back and forth early second half. And then what happened? Flipped. And then they shut Missouri down the rest of the game outside of the garbage touchdown. So Alabama looked like Alabama that I've seen the last couple years with Nick Saban when they were kicking everybody's ass. Okay, they look dominant. Their offensive line looks a lot better. They've gotten big statement wins the last month. Alabama's coming. And be careful. Watch out for them because Ty Simpson's getting better. They got the Jam Miller's back. They're running the football a little bit better. Not to the level that I think Alabama should, but they're getting back to playing the brand of football that Alabama is known for. And I'm just happy. And Kalen DeBoer's a hell of a coach. I thought it was funny when they gave the stat yesterday. He's like 11-0 when he's got his hoodie on. I don't buy into that shit. Whatever. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. Maybe superstition. Who gives a shit? So just to recap, Alabama's, they're coming. And I think they're kicking everybody's ass and they feel like the Alabama of old program. Not to that level, but they feel like they're physically better, that they're mental. They just got like a toughness to them. And I was impressed, blown away that they beat the shit out of Missouri. That's been very good, physical. And Missouri's still a good team. I'll get to them in a second. But I felt like yesterday just really out physical and just punched them in the fucking mouth over. So I was very impressed. I want to flip over to Missouri side. So I took notes this morning, as you guys know. And I was tracking down Eli Drinkwitz's record since he's been at Missouri. And because he was in the Sun Belt Conference before that. And he feels like a Southern guy. Oklahoma, Missouri, hey, brother. So I'm looking at this record here. 2020, 5-5, conference 5-5. So first year, new program. We get it. It's going to suck. 6-7 the next year. Conference thing went 3-5. Not great. 6-7 again, 2022, 3-5. Then 2023, that's when the projection hits. 11-2, still 3-5 in conference. But again, you're going through a gauntlet. You got LSU, Georgia, Bama, A&M on a good day. Kentucky's not bad. So you got a gauntlet, and okay. Then 10-3 last year. Now 5-0. They're a really good football team. They're physical. I'm watching it. They got that two-headed running back monster, that Bo kid that the transfer from Penn State. He's been really solid. I like him a lot. Gamer, tough. Got some wiggle room. He shook that guy off his knees. Hit him with that Millie Waff in it. He hit him with it yesterday. And I'm looking at Eli Drinkwitz's record. He's 43-24. Pretty solid. Pretty good. And 23-20 in conference. I'll take that to the bank. Fucking decent, Ricky. So I think Missouri, they're going to have fun. They're going to be fine. They only lost one game. Let's not panic. Pipe down, Ma. Okay? So they're going to be fine. I do think got to get better, running the ball a little bit. Was a little struggle yesterday, but Alabama's got dudes. Every time I look up, I'm like, I don't know what they're feeding these boys down in Tuscaloosa or these SEC schools. Is it weedy and steroids? I don't know, because they are just so much bigger. And the Big Ten's getting this too, but I just feel like every time I watch an SEC game, I'm like, oh, that guy's going to play on Sundays. So that was a great game. Back and forth battle, which is always going to be that with Alabama playing these rivalry games in conference. But Alabama, just to recap, looks really good. And, Missouri's getting there. They're not too bad either. I really respect their coaching staff. They got that Hardy guy, runs like Steven Jackson. I mean, he's just a beast. And, coincidentally, they played for both Missouri teams, Rams when they were in St. Louis before, and then University of Missouri. So the other game I wanted to touch on was Notre Dame. I first was going to start with that, but Notre Dame won yesterday, 36-7. Here come the Irish. Woo! Got that dub. I'm so excited. 36-7. They're on a tear right now. CJ Carr's playing out of his mind, on fire. Took him a little bit of time, but that's what good teams do. Sometimes they need a little pick-me-up to get going, smack the shit out of some people. They did yesterday. Fantastic. Marcus Freeman is just one of the best Notre Dame coaches. I was telling Aaron Lanham's dad this yesterday. We hung out with him. He moved back to Fort Wayne, and we were hanging out at his apartment, my dad and I. We were having a great time. And I was saying this to him. I said, Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman's the best Notre Dame coach they've had. And I like Brian Kelly, but he was an ass. He had some personal shit. But I feel like I'm watching the best coach Notre Dame's had since Lou Holtz. I'm being serious. He's likable. He's got this Sean McVay kind of qualities like me, intense, passionate, fiery, lovable guy. You want to run through a brick wall for him, former player, fits the Midwest. It just works. And it took them a while to get that Notre Dame program going, but they look great right now. And on the NC State side of things, listen, they're 4-3. They're kind of middle of the pack program. They put guys in the league. Phillip Rivers, Mike Glennon, Russell Wilson originally went there and then went to Wisconsin. So, they put guys in the league, Torrey Holt, I can go on and on. But they got a good team going. They got some momentum. I do think it's going to be a transition. At quarterback, he's got some physical tools, but a lot of these guys, their athletes playing quarterback than the other way around. So, got to get better with that. But I should have opened the start of the show with the Notre Dame game. I always do, but I wanted to touch on that. So, Notre Dame, elite. They're getting back. I think they're going to go to the playoff and get in. We'll see what happens in the dance. You never know. They're expanding it. NC State's going to be solid, make a bowl game. They're a pretty good program. I wanted to touch on Michigan USC last night. I watched bits of that game. I was pulling for Michigan because Derek Solomon and his stepson Brody, I love you guys and appreciate you. I was texting him prior to that game, really pulling Michigan would get the dub. Early on, it just felt like USC was having their way with them. It was just quick. Michigan didn't have any answer for them. And then they kind of were making a comeback. And then Bryce Underwood showed he's still young, still needs to grow. A lot of horsepower with him. A lot of raw. I see a lot of Favre in him. A lot of raw. Coach him, get the bad shit out of him. But, he's going to get there. And Michigan's still a solid program, elite program. One of the best programs I've seen in college football. One of the biggest brands. But they got the shit kicked out of them last night. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And, they're going to struggle a little bit, Michigan is. They're going to be okay. This is going to be a transition year. Bryce Underwood, you're going to have your growing pains, no question about it. He's still a freshman. I would expect that. So, just to recap with Michigan, they're going to be okay. I'm not too worried about them moving forward. But USC shocked me. I mean, I knew Lincoln Riley. Listen, I've been critical of him. I know Zach Alexander's the biggest USC fan I know. And, I'm a Notre Dame guy, so I got to hate USC. But I will say this, Lincoln Riley can coach offense. That's never been my knock with Lincoln Riley. I just don't think he feels like the region. I feel like he's a Southwest kind of guy. Texas, Oklahoma, he's from there. It fits. I just never got the fit. Their defense is kind of eh. And last night, I was shocked. I mean, they shut down that Michigan run game that just ran wild on them, coincidentally, a year ago in Ann Arbor. They did the reverse of that last night. They made Bryce Underwood beat you with his arm. He still had some runs, in the zone read game, no question. But I felt like last night, USC got back to that Lincoln Riley-style run game they had Oklahoma. We had offensive linemen galore. They were running the ball. And Lincoln, listen, the knock on air raid, guys, is chuck it down the field. Not this coach. And I appreciate this Lincoln Riley. He can run the ball. He wants to be physical at the point of attack, get the play-action game, get the mixed direction, all that stuff going, and then hit you with the pass game. And listen, last night, they really took it to Michigan, which is a physical football team. I didn't think they would, but they really did. And now it's got a matchup coming up with Notre Dame. Mano y mano. This feels like 1980 football. Smash mouth, pulling guards, pulling centers, out in front, kicking your ass. I can't wait. Rock'em sock'em football, baby. I cannot wait. So USC, great win. Can they keep this momentum going? Their defense looks better, but again, they're going to have a tougher test going against CJ Carr, who's much different in terms of play style against Bryce Underwood, who I still think is a talent. Just got to get some things cleaned up. And the last but not least, the game that I watched that I just was blown away with, and listen, my mom went to IU, RIP Mama Mac. I got my mom's friend was a trainer. I know a lot of people that went to IU from high school. What Kurt Cignetti's done in Indiana is just impressive. And my dad asked, he goes, was it really just head coach? I'm like, yes, it was all the head coach. And from where they were and guys not in the stands and all, it's been so impressive. And it reminded me of Jimmy Johnson taking over the Cowboys. They were dead. It was awful. They couldn't get their shit together. And then they woke up and got this program out of the dead. And you're seeing the fruition of its labor. They got a quarterback that's playing confident. They beat up Oregon yesterday, which I didn't think was possible. Dan Lanning and his footprint, physical, comes from Georgia. I look at these Oregon players; they're just like big and massive, and And again, it's easy for him. I've said this before. I think it's easy for Dan Lanning. He's a really good coach, but he's got Nike in his backyard. I mean, I don't think that job's that hard. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm going looking at it from my viewpoint. And my buddy Derek Solomon agreed with me. So I do agree. I think. Moving forward, Indiana, my dad asked me last night, could they beat Ohio State? And my take is, if you're flipping a coin with me, probably not. But if Jeremiah Smith's not playing, then maybe there's a shot, because he's the most dangerous player in college football. He reminds me of Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson when they came out of college. I'm like, that's going to work. Yep. That's going to work. It's easy. And Fernando Mendoza's slinging that pill around, and they're running the football well. They got offensive linemen that they had transfer in, guys that he had. It's just been remarkable. And to see IU football pretty good, it's awesome, because now they're a football school, feels like, compared to basketball. They've been on hard times. Indiana basketball is good. But, I feel like I'm watching a better, more in-tuned university in their sports departments. And we'll see moving forward what happens with IU football. But I'm impressed, man. And to put a bow on it, they frustrated Dante Moore yesterday. They really did. And Dante Moore's been as cool, as calm. cooler than the other side of the pillow, as Stuart Scott used to say. Boodah, baby. R.I.P., by the way. But, it's just been incredible. So I'm very impressed with IU. Moving forward, we'll see what happens with that program. I want to stick on Oregon. That was alarming yesterday. To get pushed around it, and again, I use a real team. This is not a fluke. This is not anything. But I feel like Oregon yesterday, and most of this year, outside the Penn State game, has been a little bit of front runner. And that's okay. Most of us people are in life until you hit us in the mouth. How does it define you? But I felt yesterday, Oregon looked flat to me. I didn't watch all the game, but I watched most of it. I just felt like Dante Moore was under siege a lot yesterday. He got sacked 6 times compared to the first couple weeks, which was shocking because I was like, man, I thought Penn State was going to get after him. They're just a mess. Jesus, Penn State just a mess. But I do believe that Oregon's going to be okay. This is the first loss of the year. They're going to be fine. I still think they're going to beat USC. They're going to beat these teams in the conference. But that was alarming. I mean, Dan Lanning's going to go back in his bag. And listen, I like Dan Lanning a lot. I just mentioned it with my IU take. I think he's done a fantastic job at Oregon. It does help, though, when you are in the Nike headquarters space behind you. So it does help. But I like Dan Lanning a lot. He brings a lot of energy. He brings spark. He's recruited well. He loves it. He feels right. Didn't think it was going to work because I've always said regions matter. Southern guy, West Coast, I don't know, but it works. So moving forward, Oregon's going to be okay. Dante Moore's still a really solid quarterback. I mean, it's just hard to picture these guys in the league. I'll get to my guy, Lenore Sellers. I'm still buying stock, but it does not look good right now. They lost last night. I'll go back and rewatch that game. But I just was impressed with IU and what they did, and Oregon's going to be okay. So that's just my recap of those games. I had so many more games I watched this weekend, but college football's here, baby. Football is back, baby. Woo! So that's all I want to touch on today for Spooky Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well on this terrific, beautiful fall Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well. Got content coming out this week. Adios. Love you guys. Godspeed.